On Global TV News Prime, Amopitan assumed duty as Independent National Electoral Commission Chairman. In business, the federal government approves uniform prices for Renew Hope housing unit across the country. And on the foreign scene, Trump imposes new sanction on Russia amid stalled talks with Putin. In sports, World Football legend Lionel Messi signs new Inter Miami contract. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Ramsey Enoch. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has sworn in Professor Joash Amopitan as the new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission at the State House in Abuja. The ceremony follows a Senate's confirmation of Amopitan's appointment after a rigorous screening session on October 16. President Tinubu charged the new INEC boss to safeguard the integrity of Nigeria's elections and strengthen the Commission's institutional capacity. Meanwhile, the new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Joash Amopitan, has pledged to uphold the highest standards of integrity and transparency in the nation's electoral process. The INEC chairman boss made the commitment shortly after he was sworn in by President Bola Tinubu in Abuja. INEC, Anita Patrick, has more.
The ceremony marks a new chapter in Nigeria's democratic journey as Professor Josh Amopitan formally assumes office as chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Addressing management and staff at the Commission's headquarters, Professor Amopitan emphasized teamwork, discipline, and renewed voter confidence as key to INEC's next phase. He said the staff must work together to strengthen processes and build public trust ahead of the upcoming Anambra governorship election.
Our mandate is very clear as INEC. INEC has a constitutional responsibility and a statutory mandate, as we all know. Our mandate is clear, and what is it? To deliver free, fair, and credible elections that reflect the will of Nigerian people. To achieve this, we must work together as a team. So that is why it was so important for us to start our assignment with this interaction.
Earlier, the acting INEC chairman, May Agbamuchembu, while handing over, described Professor Amopitan's appointment as a continuation of reforms that have strengthened Nigeria's electoral system through technology and transparency.
A significant moment in the life of our commission and indeed our nation's democratic journey. It is a day of continuity, renewal, and steadfast commitment to the ideals of credible elections and good governance.
As the INEC chairman settles into office, attention now shifts to how his leadership will steer INEC through the forthcoming Anambra governorship election and further deepen Nigeria's democracy. Professor Amopitan succeeds Professor Mahmood Yakubu, and his tenure begins at a time of high expectations for electoral credibility and reform. Anita Patrick, reporting for Global TV News.
A Senate is set to amend the Federal Road Maintenance Agency Act to secure better funding and improve road maintenance across the country. Topsy Gimba has details.
The Senate Committee of FEMA highlighted this during the screening of President Bola Tinubu's nominee for chairman of the FEMA Board of Trustees. The committee, led by Senator Sha'abi Alhaji Yawu Zamfara North, expressed concern over the continued poor state of federal roads, attributing the challenge to inadequate funding of FEMA. Senator Yawu lamented that despite FEMA's critical role in maintaining the nation's road infrastructure, lack of sufficient funds has hampered effective operations.
FEMA should be an agency that should be well funded, and we are looking forward at a situation whereby we will make some amendments into the law that created FEMA for us to be able to make it work well and properly.
Responding to lawmakers' questions, Musa Babayo, nominee for FEMA board chairman, vowed to use his extensive public service experience to reform and strengthen the agency's capacity.
For FEMA to succeed, we need that collaboration, especially at the National Assembly level. The Committee on PAMA at both chambers of the National Assembly will continue to engage with other critical stakeholders and other institutions of state, the Ministry of Finance, the ICRC, and other development partners.
Babayo's confirmation could mark a turning point as the Senate works towards amending the FEMA Act to enhance funding mechanisms aiming to deliver safer, more reliable roads for Nigerians. The amendment, once passed, is expected to boost the agency's budget and operational efficiency towards tackling Nigeria's road infrastructure challenges decisively. Topsy Gimba reporting for Global Television News.
The House of Representatives is demanding answers from the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, over reports that officers manning checkpoints in parts of the southeast and south-south are not properly kitted. This followed a motion of urgent public importance raised by Abia State lawmaker Ibe Osonwa, who described the trend among personnel of the Nigerian Police and the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps as alarming and a threat to national security. National Assembly correspondent Aniete Patrick reports.
The sponsor of the motion, Ibe Osonwa, described the situation as alarming as it duly undermines public confidence and accountability within the security system.
The House has observed that this gross lack of proper identification at checkpoints creates a dangerous climate of ambiguity, making it virtually impossible for citizens to distinguish between genuine security personnel and criminal impersonators.
Adopting the motion, the House resolved that the Inspector General of Police should appear before the Committee on Police Affairs to explain why the situation persists and what steps are being taken to correct it. In a related development, Ahmed Saba from Kwara State urged the federal government to send humanitarian relief to communities in Patagi affected by recent insurgent attacks. He commended the Nigerian Army for restoring calm to the area.
Of ongoing effort of the Nigerian Army and other security agencies, including police, force, Department of State Security Services, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, and local vigilante group to combat the bandit and restore peace.
Also on the floor, Uyime Idem of Akwa Ibom State raised concerns over oil spills and environmental degradation in Ukanafong local government area, calling for urgent federal intervention.
Concerned that the persistent oil spillages have contaminated water sources, destroyed farmlands, killed aquatic life, and subjected residents to economic hardship.
Before removing the EFCC chairman past second reading, the proposal was sponsored by Yusuf Gaddi of Plateau State.
Cybercrime, cryptocurrency manipulation, illicit financial flows, terrorism financing, and real estate-based money laundering had become prevalent. Yet, the EFCC operate under outdated provisions that do not adequately address those new realities.
And in what could lead to a new state in Nigeria, the House also considered a bill seeking to create Ijebu State from present-day Ogun State. The bill, sponsored by Olufemi Ogunbanwo and 3 others, has now been referred to the Constitution Review Committee for further legislative work. From the National Assembly, Aniete Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
Detained indigenous people of Biafra leader Nnamdi Kanu has told the Federal High Court in Abuja that he will defend himself after his late counsel, Kanu Agabi, and other senior advocates withdrew from the case. Nnamdi Kanu confirmed in court that he had taken over his legal representation, declining the judge's offer to assign him a new lawyer. Defending himself orally, he argued that the court lacks the jurisdiction to try him on the charges filed by the federal government. Human rights activist and 2023 AAC presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore has been arrested by the police at the Federal High Court in Abuja shortly after showing solidarity with detained IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. A police spokesman, Benjamin Hundeyin, confirmed the arrest, saying Sowore violated a court order banning protests around the Three Arms Zone and will be charged in court. His lawyer, Inebihe Effiong, has described the arrest as outrageous, accusing authorities of making a mockery of Nigeria's judicial system. The Nigeria Police Force says it has intensified its clampdown on gun runners and criminal networks supplying arms to bandits and kidnappers across the country. At a press briefing in Abuja, Force Public Relations Officer CSP Benjamin Hundeyin disclosed that several high-caliber weapons were recovered and 9 suspects arrested in coordinated operations led by the Force Intelligence Department Intelligence Response Team. Ubom Usoro has details.
In a renewed offensive against illegal arms trade, operatives of the Intelligence Response Team have dismantled multiple syndicates operating across Nasarawa, Plateau, Taraba, Kaduna.